The Fed's out of options. Rate cuts, money printing, balance sheet reversals. They call it policy, but it's really panic. This is in-game economics, where hope replaces discipline and the illusion of control finally breaks. They're not cutting rates because things are strong. They're cutting because the system is cracking. Inflation's eating savings. The labor market's stalling. Confidence in the dollar is fading fast. For decades, the Fed built a house of paper. Now they're striking the match that could burn it all down, leaving you to pay the price. When's the last time you actually held the wealth you've spent your life working for? My friends at Noble Gold Investments have been helping Americans move from paper wealth into real tangible assets. Numbers on a screen can disappear, but physical gold and silver, they've outlasted every crisis in history. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com and get your free wealth protection kit today. That's noblegoldinvestments.com for your free wealth protection kit. Discover how simple it is to protect your future. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Altar Call MAFS. I'm your host, Tane. Welcome to another episode where I will be discussing Love is Blind France, the reunion. And with me is my co-host for this season, which is Brian from Maps Version. Hi, Brian. How you feeling?
Underwhelmed by this reunion, but I'm ready to talk about it.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I'm like, I think we're spoiled by reunions in America. And then to drill down even further, those of us Bravo girlies and many, what is the equivalent of girlies?
Oh, just call me a girly too. It's fine. I'm a Bravo girly and it's fine.
We are spoiled by the Housewives reunion because nothing matches up. And I'm just like, we could have shown this. We could have done this. We're just pivoting. What is going on? I don't know. It was underwhelming for me. And it got to a point where I was just like, I don't even think I care. And it was just, spoiler alert, fast forwarding, no one's together. Everyone hates each other.
Yeah. Everyone's broken up. And we didn't talk about any of the controversial shit. We didn't, there were so many things that happened in the pods and also when they were, getting together for the first time that we just didn't talk about. Would have been cool to hear any of, I really didn't find Charles attractive. And, he's not at all what I was into. I'm going to fight through this. We didn't touch on that. At all. It's would have been cool to hear some of that.
No, we didn't. But I mean, we'll get there. I think we didn't do the last ones because as we found out, the weddings, it's just the weddings. There's really nothing. But I'll go through it just to go over who got married, who didn't, housekeeping as usual, patreon.com/altarcallmafs. Bonus episodes up there. If you don't want ads, ad-free option there. If you want early episodes, that's an option there. If you just want to support Tane, that's also an option. You can do that too. But on the regular feed, there's so many episodes out there. Me and Brian just finished Welcome to Platteville. Me and Brian just did the Lord's work by going through the 6 episodes of Love is Blind, where there was so much to talk about. So that's on the regular feed. And I chatted with Amber from season 9, and that's up there too for you to check out. Okay, so the wedding episodes, Brian, sorry, it wasn't a fake out. Tatiana is not getting married because she wants to be sure that she's getting married, and that is that. And she decided on that before telling her groom that she is not going to get married while the man is shopping for a tux over on the other side.
Surprise.
Chloe and Alexandra both say I do. Chloe was just as shocked as we all were because she's like, oh, okay, all right, we're gonna do it.
Oh, word?
He said that. You were right. You predicted that they would both say yes. I don't know how you saw that, but
I don't know. I can't explain myself.
I said she will say yes and he'll say no. So there's that. Kim and Thomas or whoever it was that showed up at the wedding because it looked like a completely different man. At the wedding. Brian says that they were going to break up before the show. I'm like, they seem like a mess. They might make it work, but they'll probably say no. But she said no, that their differences are too much. And this poor man has to deal with rejection again. But I do think it was for the best.
Yeah, I think so.
Van Mee and Sabrina color me shocked when and I Love You came out. I'm like, wait, what?
Since when?
Huh? What did we miss?
Right.
I thought we didn't like each other and we're just, she's going for the safe option and he's just like, she's pretty, but yeah, never gonna work.
That's what I thought.
So, yeah, you said that she was gonna say yes and he would say no. For some reason, I didn't give a prediction. I don't know why. But yes, Van Mee says no at the altar, so
Wild.
nothing happens. And that's another thing they missed at the reunion. No one was asked, what would you have said? You know?
Not one person.
Not one person was asked that. Julie and Charles, everyone thought they were gonna get married. They do say yes. But I think something that stood out to me was she and her teddy bear were giving a confessional, and she casually just tells us that she doesn't talk to her mom anymore. This could be me. Maybe they mentioned it in the pods and it's been like 80 years ago and I forgot. But I feel like I would remember that because he talked a lot about his upbringing. Am I glitching?
A little bit.
Upbringing.
There you go.
Thank you. And yeah, so maybe they bonded over that, but I do not recall that. But she just said she didn't talk to him and her daddy just showed up and he's a bundle of energy. He seemed fun.
Mm-hmm. He did.
So they both say yes, and that was it from like the wedding episodes, and then we can go straight into the reunion. Mm-hmm. All right, all the big players are back. Tomas shows up as a blonde.
Yeah.
Cynthia, what a
my
goddess.
God. Killing him.
Ooh, one more time.
Oh my God.
My God. Like
I'm watching again. I'm like, man, how did this man not fold? Because I would have folded the second. Like, come on, man.
I mean, but that's the thing, though. Like, so pretty, but still, like, with all the people on this shows, regardless of what country, so much to unpack. She got to work in a lot of stuff because
I don't care at all.
Honestly, when she was trying to get back with him, I was cringing for her. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, it was embarrassing, but I was just like, yeah, man, this is a perfect time to ruin your life. Like, this is when you do it. This is when you make that call. That's right.
But when Galien shows up, because I'm like, oh, he gets to come back, and as soon as I'm just like, I heard them, like, you know, I'm watching the captions at the bottom, and I just hear l'enfant terrible, and he does like the Joker style reveal. He looks like through his eyes, and I'm like, I just started to cackle. I don't even know what.
It was wild. Well, and I will say, for me, this is the only episode that is not dubbed. I don't know why there was no dubbed option, so I had to do the captions too. I'm like, I'm missing all kinds of shit on the screen, like the expressions. I'm looking down, I'm looking up. I had a hard time. I had a really hard time with this because I'm just like, okay, like it's gonna be really hard for me to watch both things at the same time now. But I think I got most of it.
You are not a pro. I don't know if are you aware of that guy, Subway Takes? Where people just go on the train and all that. I think I just saw one recently. It was like, what's your take? And he's like, if you're an adult, there should not be an option for subtitles. You shouldn't watch things with subtitles in English. And he's like, 100% disagree. And it's like, if you're a filmmaker, you've put so much thought in the angles and the thing, and you don't want to waste your time looking below the screen. And the host responds and is like, you're not a pro. When you're a pro, you don't even notice it. You just know that's where I am.
See,
I can see both.
For many years, I had the closed captions on at all times. I don't know when. I know when this started, but I don't know why. There was when I was in 8th grade, there was a Scooby-Doo marathon on our Cartoon Network, and for some reason, I'm like, put these captions on here, and then it stuck all through college up until probably I was like 23, 24, and I had roommates again. And then I turned it off for them and I haven't gone back. So I used to live this life. And now going back to it, I'm just like, I cannot do both. This is really hard for me.
I absolutely can. The only thing I need to do is like, let's say I was watching Love Island Games and I don't want to see the winner because a closed caption would be a spoiler for you.
Oh.
So I have to put my hands and cover it up. When they're announcing it, I'm like, this is kind of ridiculous. But that's about the only inconvenience on there. Okay, so one thing that they do get right is that it is a year later. I always appreciate that because it is enough time for a lot to happen. And I'm looking forward to that for MAFS because honestly, this Austin season was filmed 28 and a half years ago. So we should have grandchildren by the time they're doing.
There's going to be dinosaurs in the background and volcanoes erupting and shit. A long time ago.
The reunion. So I like it when it's like, you know, here. And just as a sidebar, everyone, I think when I was doing the rewatch, I was like, oh, when did Kevin join? When I was doing the episode with Jason and we were doing like the countdown, I went back to season 2 to go watch. Kevin did the reunion. Kevin has been there
Did he
from
really?
jump. It doesn't
Wow.
feel that way, but in the reunion,
Because
he's
so many others
asking.
have changed.
Yes, I was asking. He was asking Jessica's husband and was like, "Are you just gonna walk away?" And I was like, "Wow." Even if this was his
Wow.
first season, that was season 2. So calling me wrong, just
That's
reminding
wild.
myself here that he has been here from 2. It didn't
Wow.
feel that way, but yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah. Huh. All right.
All right. So I'm guessing they're gonna keep him
I hope
for
so. He does a
this.
fine job.
We already lost Keisha. I don't want us to
I
lose any
know.
more. And honestly, this still doesn't feel like what Peacock's vision is going to be. And I'm just a little nervous on if they're going to change, like experts and things like that, and what else is going to change in that.
Well, I worry they might go toward more of is that the Maps Australia format where it's just like everyone is kind of all together and we're kind of people can dump and get dumped in the middle and shit. Like, I think, is it Australia or UK that the rules are like way different? Like,
They're
one of
both
them is
different,
wild.
but for
Are they both different?
Australia is not a legal marriage.
Okay.
So every week you have a choice to stay or leave. So they
That's
have
what
a
I was
dinner
thinking.
party, which is the best part because it airs like 4 times a week. So it's Sunday,
Oh.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And
Okay.
then on Wednesday, we have the dinner party. And then on Sunday, we have the commitment ceremony where they meet with the experts. And then the experts tell them all the things. And then you say stay or leave. Even if you want to leave, if one person says stay, you have to stay. So people
Jesus.
stay because they want to cheat with other people. So you're held
See,
captive.
I don't want them to go to that. And I'm afraid they might. Like, I'm afraid they might just go, this is way more exciting.
It'll be too much. I don't think they would because that requires, in Australia, it's 11 couples. So that's a lot. And you have
It's
to
a
have a
lot
lot
more,
because a lot
a
of
lot of
people might drop
episodes.
out. So I
Yeah.
don't think they will do that. I think they'll keep the format for the most part. I think they'll just
I hope
find a
so.
way where it fits better to truncate it into 1-hour episodes. But I think if there were going to be any changes, it might be the experts, but we'll see.
Yeah. And frankly, the one change I wish they would make is stop casting people. Just go back to a huge cattle call. Everyone comes in and we pick people instead of, hey, this person seems like they might be interesting on TV. Let's see if they want to get married to a stranger. Like, that's how
Yeah.
things go bad.
Yeah, like people who are willingly coming back. Because at first they stopped because of COVID, and now
Yeah.
COVID is done. So
Yeah.
I
Now
mean,
it's just like, well, it's
it's not
easier to
done.
just cast
It's not
people, I
done.
guess.
Don't come for me.
It's not
It's
done,
not done.
but
But there
it's
are
not
less
what it was.
restrictions. There are less
Right.
restrictions, and people can gather now. So
Yeah.
Okay. I want to point out again. I said this in the beginning, and I'm not picking on her. That Teddy Reiner's wife still seems uncomfortable in front of the camera, Luthna.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. And the fact that he held her hand the entire
The
time
whole time.
didn't help. This was like, what reunion was it? Was it Vanderpump Rules or somebody? There was a reunion where they just held hands the entire time, and we're like, okay, what is?
I could see that. I was gonna say I could see that being Sandoval and Rock Rochelle when they had their
No,
thing, but I don't know if that was.
it was Summer House. It was Summer House. Danielle and Lexi. They just held
Oh,
hands
yeah,
the entire time, and
they
we're
did,
like,
and it was weird.
yeah, and the fact that he held her hand the entire time, and I don't know if anyone else noticed, but her other free hand, she just kept clenching it. And she just, and I was like, I hope she's not having like an anxiety attack or something, but it's just visible that she's uncomfortable. And
Yep.
I was excited for them to host, but I don't know. But maybe it's like a Nick and Vanessa Lachey. You guys can complain all you want. These are our hosts, and that's it.
Right.
So
It could be. Well, that's assuming they come back for a second season. We had 0 success. So who says they're even going to come back?
And they did not announce that because even in the other ones, they're like, oh, we got picked up. It's been a year. And they should know what the numbers are by now. And I also think in regards to them hosting, it is a bold choice to have a couple who don't seem to believe in marriage host a show about marriage.
It's wild.
I mean,
it's
like you don't have to get married. That's not my gripe. It's just like the show is about marriage, and for every other one except Sweden, Sweden has a single person hosting the show, but it's just they've been together 17 years and they don't get married. How does that inspire people who are like, I need more time?
There's got to be a married French couple, right? Like a famous married French couple. Thierry Henry's probably married to somebody. Go get him.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. The body language sometimes gives things away because you can tell who's together, who's
Hmm.
not. Well, did we? Some people said who's on good terms. Let me put it that way. Who's
Yeah.
friendly and who kind of just hates their people. I mean, you put Cynthia and Tatiana sitting together. I mean, we already knew
Yeah.
what happened with that, but it's kind of like now we know that her attempt to get back with him did not work, and
Yeah.
things like that. So I'm not saying go the Mexico route where they had to come up with a hammer and break something to
Wild.
say they were together. That was terrible. But
Gamify everything, man.
I don't know. Let all the people sit by gender, and then if you're together, sit side by. I don't know, something else. But
There
it
could
was
have been
kind of like a
something else.
spoiler. Yes, it was like a spoiler. So we'll start with Julie and Charles. Julie says it's a good way about Love is Blind to go about love. And Charles is like, yeah, you uncover a lot of emotions, including emotions that he did not like discovering. I'm like, uh-oh,
Hmm.
this doesn't sound good. And this was supposed to be like one of the few couples that got married. And, if they're starting with them, because they saved
Yep.
the people who are together at the end. So they play a montage of their happy moments. And then they tell us that she moved in with him after the wedding. And it was a temporary thing till they both found a place. And then a month later, he asked her to leave, that he needed space, he needed air, and it broke her heart. They're
Well,
like,
yeah.
Charles, what do you have to say about yourself? He's like, I mean, it's true. I needed
Hmm.
to regain my mental and physical space. And I knew it was a step back, but I just needed to find myself again. Bullshit.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So let me say, I agree, or I can attempt to understand because I didn't go through it. When you go through a reality show that is so intense with people in your face all the time, based on all the, like, after speaking to some of the past participants on maps, and they're like, the camera's in your face, like, Eris is like, he was just throwing out words just to get them out of there, like, regardless
Hmm.
of how ridiculous it was. And people are digging, 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 and making you repeat stuff. I can see how that's a lot. Even someone on Big Brother was like, the way the mental thing, the toll on you, or Survivor, where they're like, someone said they got out and they couldn't trust someone for a year because they were just
Yeah.
paranoid. So I can
Yeah.
understand that you need space and all that. But again, this is a marriage. Anytime
Exactly.
someone is like, oh, I need space, I need that, you are married to someone. What that entails is that your life is now intertwined with someone. I'm not saying
Hmm.
you're joined at the hip. You are going to need breathing room, but I do feel there's a way to get breathing room without telling your wife to get the fuck out the house.
Right.
What?
No.
That's
No. I
ridiculous.
like my wife and I have our alone time and we have our together time. Like we make a point that every week on Wednesday and Saturday at a minimum we're spending like the evenings together. We're doing stuff. Otherwise, there's times that we'll put our son to bed. And I'm like, hey, what are your plans for the evening? Oh, I'm gonna read and then go to sleep. Okay, cool. I'll be down in the basement or whatever. So
Hmm.
yes, it is nice to have a part time and together time. What I would not say is, hey, I need some alone time. Get the fuck out the house. I'll let you know when to come back. Like that's a
Yeah.
whole no, 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 no. Like if you need some alone time, you can talk about that and say, "Hey, I need a little bit of time just by myself for whatever reason." And there's usually a reason for that. Like I know that my wife is a middle school teacher. She's around chaos and noise 24/7 all day long. I talk a lot. So when she gets home, she's like, I just want to be somewhere where no one is talking for like 2 hours. And
Yeah.
she will enjoy some silence. My ADHD is the kind where silence drives me insane. I can't be in silence, right? So like
Hmm.
we have to have separate time for that kind of stuff. This is just, I don't know, the clumsiest possible way he could have gone about it. And there had to be some specific thing that she was doing that was upsetting him. I don't know what it was. I do want to say she looked amazing at this reunion. This man has the reddest lips I've ever seen, and I don't know why. That was distracting to me. And I'm just like, God, like you, I don't know what happened here because you outkicked your coverage and then you blew it. So I wish we had more insight into what led to this, other than like, oh, I just needed some time. Like, I don't. Why did you need some time? Why did you need some space?
But that's why I said it's bullshit. He was just over it. He didn't want
Yeah.
to be with her, and you were saying like you needed space. Like there's no space. Like
Mm-mm.
that.
You got
That's what you
married.
signed up for. So you didn't want to be with her. Instead of you to just say, "Hey, I'm not with this anymore," and you're going about it a different way.
Yep.
So I mean, you could see that he already had doubts when he made comments like she can't keep a house and she can't do
Yeah.
this. And they're different people. And I think what these people forget is they need to give grace or time to figure out their rhythm, because
Exactly.
what they don't have is that they didn't date. didn't get to know each other. If your cores are at the same, give it time, give it patience, but it's not going to be instantaneous. But any sign of friction, they're just like, well, we're not meant to be.
Yep.
This is not, and then that's it. And it's like, ugh. So
Mm.
she says you don't do that as a married couple, which is true. But she agreed to it just to compromise, even if it broke her. And the thing
Yep.
is that he tapped into her insecurities. And I can totally understand that. There are just
Oh, yeah.
certain things that people are sensitive about. And abandonment is one of the things that she has. And that's the one thing you told her. You didn't say, let's just get a 2-bedroom and then we're gonna, stay
Mm-mm.
here or come up with a schedule or something. You told her to get out. Like
Yeah,
there's
get
no
out.
delicate way or nice deduction you can get from that.
Well, and for him to come back and defend himself and say, I never said that. And she's like, oh, you did. You asked me to move out. I didn't want to go. And so for a week, you were like, get out. And then
Yeah.
finally I left. So
Yeah.
like, he's like, no, that's not what happened. He's like, no. It's exactly what happened. Like, I tried to stay. And after a week, you're like, no, for real, why are you here?
Yeah. And
So, yeah.
as if that wasn't enough, she says, in addition to that, there was no effort. And then he
Right.
wrote to a woman 4 days after the wedding, and he was asking her to prove her worth and that he was
Insane.
questioning her personality. And I think that is the answer to your question. The thing that motivated him to do that is he probably met someone and he was like, I can't do
Yeah.
this while I'm married. I need you to go out so my conscience is clean. And
Yeah.
you need to go
It's
down.
either he met somebody or somebody he had in mind before things got going.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, it turns out I would rather give this a shot instead. So you have to leave now. Like
Yeah.
it was real bad.
And then they were showing all this while showing Sarah, his other connection, sipping wine
Oh,
from her
I forgot she
bookshelf.
existed. I was
Yeah.
so happy I forgot about her. Ugh.
She says when she tried to communicate with Charles that she was met with silence. And then she took a pause and she's like, excuse me 1 second. And then she took a sip from the go ahead, girl, refuel yourself. She thought she was going to come here and give good news and like announce a pregnancy. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Whoa.
But, she doesn't know, but she never took off her ring because she still has hope. And that's the thing to note is that despite all of this woman, unfortunately, still has hope deep down.
She's still in love with
he
him.
could be salvaged. And I'm like,
Yeah. She
don't
is still in
let
love with
a
him.
man tell him he doesn't want you twice.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So he's not nostalgic. They asked him how he feels. He's like, I'm not nostalgic for what I left because I didn't feel respected. So I had to distance myself. And the way she's acting now, this gives me confirmation. I hate that these Love is Blind men have a script. It doesn't matter what country, what island, what anything. I know I made the right choice with the way she's behaved. You hurt her.
Yeah.
Is she supposed to be like, thank you, my lord? Thank you for
she's
being honest.
behaving she's behaving this way because of your actions. Like, no, it's wild to me because so often it's kind of like, well, I have no say at all in what she says and does. She would say and do this regardless of what I'm doing. I could be the perfect husband. She still react this way. So you see how she is, right? And I'm like, well, no, man. Like, you're acting like an asshole.
Yeah.
And she's responding to you acting like an asshole.
Yes, because it's also not in private. There's like a whole audience, international, national people viewing this humiliation that you did because you were out there holding a wall, hand to wall, professing your love. People already think it's a radical idea, and now you proved them right and made me look like a fool. So,
it's bad. It's sad.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, I didn't want to hurt her, but I had to do what was right for myself. Like I just wasn't feeling good every day. And she's like, I called, I texted. He did not respond. And as a sidebar, then we get a shot of Tatiana and Cynthia together, just out. I was like, oof. Anyways, the host asked them, and this question they keep asking all the time, and it just at some point got annoying. So, do you think there's a chance that you could work it out? Before she even got it out, Charles was like, nope. No. No.
And she was like, see, I was going to say, you see what he said? It's just like, yeah, why are you asking? If there was a chance, then I think they would have agreed to that in private. We would have said, hey, we're thinking about maybe getting another go. They're not going to say, you know what? Now that you asked me, I do think there's a chance. Like, if there was a chance, they would tell you guys, hey, we're still trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, I mean, he already texted and asked for a divorce. Right. And Julie's like, I'm going to be unapologetic about my temperament. This is who I am. And they ask him what he learned from this. He's like, well, Julie taught me to be in touch with my emotions. And he apologizes to her again that he didn't mean to hurt her. And she's tearing up. And I don't blame her, because what has happened is like, don't tell me that I helped you be in touch with your emotions, because now I done prepared you for somebody else. And then you're going to get married and I'm going to be here still.
What really happened is she fixed me for the eventual woman I'm going to make so happy down the line.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Yeah. And again, I would leave 5% window, like maybe something happened and maybe he really was unhappy, but he's a man. I just know that it wasn't that deep.
We're not good.
He was just turned off by one thing that could be probably worked on, but he's like, no, I could do better. And then that's it. But I do think that Julie is more hurt because this is the thing. Remember, like you said, there was no physical attraction. He's not her type. This is not what she likes. And she's more hurt that she gave someone that she otherwise wouldn't have a chance, and still.
It's got to be tough to be like, I made the choice to overlook a pretty big issue here, and because I did that, I did legitimately fall in love with you, and this is how you're gonna do me? Like, that's, imagine Beauty and the Beast. At the end, the Beast is like, yeah, you read a lot, so like, I really want like a dumb girl, so you got to get out of here. Like, I mean, that you're the Beast. What are you talking about?
We need a reimagination of Beauty and the Beast, because Beast is not even going to feel like a beast. With all the options online on social media now,
well,
Beast is going to be like,
that.
I can give me somebody else.
And we all see one where at the end, you see the way that Belle looks at him like, ugh, that's how you look when you're a human? Like, I don't want that. Like, never mind. I'm happy you're free, but I'm out of here now.
Okay, did you have anything else with Julie and Charles?
I don't think so. I just, again, boy, she looked great. Boy, his lips are red. That's all I got. They all did.
To be honest.
They all did look really good.
They all did. All right, I'll take a little break and we will be back to continue in this.
Feeling sluggish from all the extra food, drinks, and celebrations? Kick off the new year with a science-backed reset. Quicksilver Scientific's Push Catch Liver Detox is a patented, simple two-step system that supports your liver, gut, and whole body detoxification, helping clear out what's slowing you down so you feel energized for the year ahead. It's more than a cleanse. Quicksilver Scientific's Push Catch Liver Detox helps reset your system. Get 10% off and free shipping at tryqs.com/podcast. Again, that's tryqs.com/podcast for 10% off and free shipping. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Fed's out of options, rate cuts, money printing, balance sheet reversals. They call it policy, but it's really panic. This is in-game economics, where hope replaces discipline and the illusion of control finally breaks. They're not cutting rates because things are strong. They're cutting because the system is cracking. Inflation's eating savings. The labor market's stalling. Confidence in the dollar is fading fast. For decades, the Fed built a house of paper. Now they're striking the match that could burn it all down, leaving you to pay the price. When's the last time you actually held the wealth you've spent your life working for? My friends at Noble Gold Investments have been helping Americans move from paper wealth into real tangible assets. Numbers on a screen can disappear, but physical gold and silver, they've outlasted every crisis in history. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com and get your free wealth protection kit today. That's noblegoldinvestments.com for your free wealth protection kit. Discover how simple it is to protect your future. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
After the holidays, there's so much to clean up and get ready for the coming year. This leaves me exhausted and a lot of things falling off my to-do list. It's time to lock in, and Omaha Steaks delivers everything you crave to reset after the holidays. An order from them means having high-quality Omaha Steaks on hand at all times. I'm a big meat lover myself, and I always go with medium rare. But there's also plenty of poultry and other options available. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. A family-owned company with over 100 years of expertise in the meat industry. Let Omaha Steaks deliver high-quality proteins right to your door. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their end-of-season sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code YUM at checkout. That's OMAHA steaks.com, promo code YUM. Terms apply. See site for details. Go to www.omahasteaks.com to get 50% off site-wide during their end-of-season sale. And use promo code YUM at checkout for an extra $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply. Thanks to Omaha Steaks for sponsoring us.
All right. And we're back with Kim and Tomas. We do not know what Tomas would have said. That really haunted me the entire time. Like,
Yep.
would Tomas have said yes if they'd been there? So
I think he would have.
Luther starts by saying, like, oh, I found your story so touching because, you realize that you don't work well together and you have differences. And I'm like, what? I think Kim was the one who found out they had
Right.
differences, not him, but okay,
Yep.
let's go with that. Then they show a montage of their differences, not their happy times. Their differences is
Yeah.
what they show. And it's basically Kim being a Merla from Maps. That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Brian. The one when they were at the restaurant and she was laughing at him for putting butter on the bread. I'm sorry, I'm not cultured. What are we supposed to put butter on?
What was she doing?
I
Like, I
don't.
thought she also put on her bread. Like
Was
in the
it?
beginning. So, so when I watched it the first time, and I don't know if this was just the dubbing or not, it sounded like what he did was put some butter on the bread and then put more bread on top of the butter, made like a butter sandwich. Because oh, you made a sandwich? He's like, yeah, I'm a child or whatever. So I was like, is that? But it sounded like no, you're not supposed to spread this fancy, expensive ass butter on your bread. Do you just eat it? That doesn't sound good for your heart.
I don't know. Can someone tell me what he did? Is it that he put it on a whole slice of bread, or
I don't know.
she
He
had a
did what I
little
would have
piece?
done.
That's what I'm saying. Or is it that
Yeah.
she got a little piece and you're supposed to put a little piece because she was saying, I'm gonna taste the butter, but food
Yeah.
is meant for eating?
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
was
man.
lost.
France is different.
I
Like, I
was
don't know.
lost. So I was like, I don't know what he did wrong, but okay, just so I don't go embarrass myself too.
Right?
Um, I think it's more of a travesty that she don't know what Goodwill Hunting is. So there's that.
Yeah, yeah. And then, well, the part that he explained also doesn't help
No,
about
it
the wife
didn't.
farting in bed. Like,
No, it
come on,
didn't.
man. No, don't do that part.
Oh man, I don't know how these two got together. It is not. This is like a Jordan and Sparkly Megan
It's a weird
situation.
couple.
You see, have
Yep.
you seen the jokes that people were thinking that Jordan was like, "Ka-ching, she got money, so he put in work in
I
the bedroom."
I didn't, but you know what? That could be the case. When she was like, he just knows what he's
Oh
doing. I'm
my
like,
god!
oh yeah, like he probably is just a really giving lover. Like he just there are some of us who are just down like that, where it's like, yeah, I get pleasure from watching you get pleasure, and it seems like that's what he was into.
Hey, oh, it could be there. What they're saying, he's like, lock in. My
Could
son
be.
is
I'm
set
putting in
for
all
life.
the work. I got
Okay,
every move I
so
can think of.
so Kim says, like, they ask her how she's doing. She's like, oh, I got a bunch of backlash, like I'm snooty, so it's expected. And the montage didn't help, honestly, for me. In
No,
fact, watching that reinforced, like, they did not stand a chance. Like, not a chance in hell.
I don't know why I thought
She
they did.
she says that she accepts her personality. She's not going to change. And Thomas is like, she's not that arrogant. Like, it just seems worse on TV. And then Teddy makes a joke that Kim wrote him a check to say that, but it didn't land.
Nope.
I don't know. It was just awkward, this reunion. The chemistry was
Yeah,
not there.
no,
I
from
don't know
anybody
why.
really.
Yeah. So Teddy says that, we see you guys so in sync. Why did it not work out? I'm like, guys, you literally just played a montage of their differences. Why are
Yep.
we're not, like, they're not present. They're just asking questions because they think that's what should be asked. I don't,
Yeah. Well, now that we're talking about it, this makes me wonder about the state of reality TV in France.
why?
Like, do we know what to look for because we have so much reality TV here and reunions here that it's like you're missing so many opportunities, and why are you doing it this way? I've never been to France. I've never watched French television. What if like this is not a big thing in France where like garbage reality TV just isn't what hits over there, and so they don't know how to handle a reunion? I don't know, but they missed a lot of opportunities.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever watched a reunion. I've only seen someone from Love is Blind France before. But honestly, if I had to take a quick stab, I just think it's just not a good fit.
It could
Because I
just
said that remember from Jump, I said that. I'm like,
yeah.
why did he get the job?
Why is
And
this giant
then did
judoka
he
hosting the show?
yeah, and
Like,
then did he just say, well, if I'm doing it, my wife has to do it? Because it just from Jump,
right.
even before we knew anything, I'm like, okay, it doesn't seem like there's a fit or whatever. All it needs
Yeah.
is like a different personality. They're not terrible people. It just doesn't
No.
feel like fit. Like, because we've watched from different countries and all you need is be present. But to ask someone, Why didn't it work out? After you chose not a montage of their happy times, a montage of their differences. It's kind of
Yeah.
redundant.
Yeah. It's like that
Even
one
Tom
season of Kim Fields on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like,
Atlanta.
I love Kim Fields. You don't belong here.
Oh
You are
God,
so
oh,
confused. Like,
no,
you don't belong here.
don't belong at all. But even Thomas is like, I'm making French toast with puree that costs $400. What else is there to say? And then Luthna is like, oh yeah, but me and Teddy, we're so different. But you dated. You
Yeah.
dated for 17 years.
You're
It's
still
not the
dating.
same thing. So that's funny. The camera keeps panning to Clement in the
Mm-hmm.
audience. And then Kim was like, yeah, the differences were too great. And her family's in the audience nodding as well. Yeah, their family members all scattered there.
Yep.
So Thomas is like, she's always gonna be a part of my life. Like she was there for me in moments after the show, like when my mom died, and he cannot take that away from his life. And honestly, guys, that was it. No one said, I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, how
No.
long ago was this? What is that? They just immediately ask him, are you single? And I'm like, whoa,
Yep.
okay. So
Yeah, it was wild.
yeah, because he had a complicated family life. It was his
Mm-hmm.
friend who was standing in as a dad. So then if your mom leaves, how do you feel about that? But maybe he chose, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that he didn't want to talk about it. But honestly, I
Could
doubt.
be. It's just like, hey, well, parents die anyway. You single?
Moving on. Yeah, so he's still single. Kim says she's still single. Again, they didn't ask him if he would have said yes. They bring in
Mm-mm.
Clement. And apparently Clement and Kim went on a date outside the experiment. And she's like, he's interesting and smart, but he's not ready to build something with someone. They asked him, Clement said, I don't know what Clement said because Clement was just going on and on about his DMs are full and he has people and I don't know if I'm not ready, but clearly he's not ready. Something
Right.
about the pods and it's word salad.
Yeah. I just felt
Basically.
like he was kind of like, yeah, I mean, I went on a date with her and like, if she was down to clown, I would have hooked up. But like my DMs are flooded, you guys. So I'm not gonna like put in that much work and like try to make it didn't happen. It's fine. Like I got women out the wazoo right now.
Why do these people sign up for the show?
I don't know.
It's an epidemic in reality TV. Like honestly, dating shows, it sounds like it's just a complaint, and then you get your diamond in the rough every now and then,
Mm-hmm.
but it's an epidemic. Everyone just wants to be an influencer. Like, I talk about Ready to Love. There's a guy that was on Ready to Love. He does not have a car, does not have a place to stay, but he came on a show. But you just know that the goal is, okay, maybe if I can get some endorsements out of this,
Yeah.
I can get myself out of this hole. But why the fuck are you dating? Why are you
I don't
here?
know. I don't
So
know.
it's a scary thing. The intentions are not there. It's now an icing on the cake versus the goal. People are here like, you know what? If I find love, that's great. But then they
Yep.
don't want to because there's many other people waiting for them in their DMs. So I don't know what the
Yeah.
cure
And
for that
again,
is going to be, but
I blame casting. Like stop casting people. Like and maybe it's only because I've seen so much maths, but like I remember back when they were doing the open call, there would be thousands and thousands of people like lined up. You could get 5 people out of that thousands and thousands of people that are going to work without you like going on Instagram and trying to find someone that's looking for like a flat tummy tea brand deal. Like stop doing that.
yep, stop
You're just going to shit
recruiting,
your
stop
pants. Don't do that.
casting. Be
Right.
like Jeff Probst. He will not take anyone unless you apply.
Exactly. That's
So,
the way to do it.
all right, quick little break. We'll be right back. And we are back. Tatiana and Yannick.
Oh no.
They ask how they're doing. Tatiana's like, I'm fine. They ask Yannick how he's doing. He's like, I went through a lot of emotions before today. Just to update everyone on things off air. Shout out to Storytime with Ricky because that's my source. Yannick is bawling. Yannick is his as if you couldn't tell by his threads, by the things he wears. Like I can't identify like designer stuff all the time, but when I look at Yannick, and it's not because I think he's fine, I can tell that this is quality thread.
Mm-hmm.
This is things that are upscale. But
Elevated silhouettes.
yeah, I know. They're telling us his job is like, what did they say his job was? Like
He's like a
a
special effects
special
director or
effects
something
thing.
like
He
that.
has a production
Yeah.
company. His production
Okay.
company actually works with Netflix. They produced that show. I'm saying it wrong. Lupin. We say Lupin, but I guess
Oh,
French is like
Lupin.
Lupin. of
which
stuff.
I only know from the anime. So yeah.
Yeah. So they produce all that. He has a bunch of businesses. He has an Airbnb. He has another thing that he does
Shit.
and all that. So now it makes sense. Like, why would I not want to, even if he didn't have any of that? I said this when we were reviewing it. Why would he not want to review whatever prenup thing that he's signing? Because I think
Yeah.
we were wondering about it. I guess the notary is the prenup, which whatever you
Yeah.
might call it. And they had a prenup meeting, which she never showed up for. And then they pivoted and made him go see her mom instead, which is why he was unprepared. And he did not have anything to show to the
Yep.
mom and to visit, because we're like, this seems unlike Yannick. Like, why is he looking like he didn't want to be here? Apparently,
Exactly.
they begged him, to just show up for this. And that's why he seemed
Okay.
unprepared. They had another notary signing where Tatiana was late. She showed up 2 hours late.
2
and they didn't have
hours.
enough time. And that was the one where he said, hey, I have to read this over. So they didn't have enough time
Yep.
for him to, read that over. And then the perfume date, he actually called her an hour before while she was still in the house to tell her that he's not going to make it. And she's like, well, I'm still going to go. And then he actually met her son. We never saw any of his businesses. We only saw,
No.
I think someone in the comments was like, oh, that's why he was unimpressed when he saw her business. Because this is like,
I have several warehouses. Like, what is this?
So having all this information, I was curious to see how this would play out at the reunion, if anything was going to come up, and that will be a big fat negative no.
Nope.
So
Nope.
put that in your pocket. They play a montage of their good moments, which I'm like, why? Show her going off the rails, show them arguing, show what their arguments were about so that you see yourself. And then we talk about what is going on where you have this outburst where you write a script and you don't let the other person participate, which we saw play up again in this reunion. But once again, say it with me now. What did the host ask them? You guys seem to get to along
Yeah.
together. Why did you
Is
break
there another
up?
chance? You saw why they broke up. Frankly, if you're gonna show all that shit, show the leather pants one more time for me, dude. Just put them on. Just put them on screen one more time while we're at it.
They weren't thinking about you,
They
Brian.
weren't there.
They were not
No,
thinking.
I'm ignored by the production team.
Tatiana says like it felt like she was living 3 lives, basically being a mom, being a wife, and being a business owner. So she was basically overwhelmed and didn't get any help from him. When he said that she forced things on him, she felt a type of way. The host asked her, well, did you ever ask him for help? And she says, we spoke about this on the phone yesterday. I'm like, oh.
Yep. Had a call yesterday, huh?
Yesterday? Oh, okay. And good time to be like, oh, did you just say yesterday? Does that mean you guys are in touch? What is your what? No.
Sailed right by. That sailed right by.
And she says she told him that clearly that was my fault, that, I did not ask for help. And I'm like, okay, that's a good start. Because honestly, with the Yannick and Tatiana relationship, I'm getting a completely different understanding of this relationship. And far be it for me to defend a man, but
well,
she had her things because of her son, right? Like, I completely get that. She came in knowing that. But he also had his things because of his business. So part of the things I think Storytime with Ricky was saying was like, part of why he wanted her to move in with him is like he actually owns his apartment and it's so hard to get out of, to sell something like that in France.
Yeah.
Like she's renting. So it's just easier for her to like move in there. And I get it's because of school, but it's also like his businesses are close by.
Yeah.
So it's harder for him to rent his place and things like that. So you not saying that your son isn't, as always, your son should be number one in your life. But if you are going to integrate somebody else in your life, you have to give some kind of room. And I think the thing that Tatiana does is she just leads with, I'm a mom, it's my son, but you have to be flexible in some areas. And from what I get, it's not that Yannick wasn't willing. Again, he could be bullshitting. I don't know. He could be bullshitting.
Yeah.
But from what he's saying out of his mouth, I don't know his heart. He's willing to do some things, but she's just presenting it as it's this or nothing.
Yeah.
I don't care what you need to figure out. You need to figure it out. And then he's not receiving it that way. And then he stonewalls. And then she's just like, well, this is what I expected. You think my son is baggage. You think I'm so glad he stopped her mom and said, I would never call a child baggage.
Like
that
a child is love.
Not my issue.
Yeah.
So
Well, my take on this, I can agree with Tatiana. Like my kid, he's in first grade, loves his school, loves, his teacher, knows the bus route. All that shit is like, that would be hard to pivot in the middle of the school year. And now all of a sudden it's, we're changing all the shit around. However, that is something you discuss in the pods. If you're in the pods, you're going to say, okay, I like where this is going. Let's talk logistics. If we get married, where are we going to live? I can't move because I don't want to take my son out of his school. His routine is important to him, etc. I also can't move because I'm close to my business and need to be centrally located. Oh shit, this isn't going to work because we can't live in the same place. Like, if that's the case, that's the case. And if this is clearly a deal breaker for her at least, and perhaps for him, then this should have been talked about early on in the pods and never should have gotten to the engagement. It's just like, what were y'all talking about? How did you not? This is the first thing I would talk about is, we saw with Jordan on Love is Blind US. Like, he talked about his kid all the time.
Yeah.
And I think if there was anything that was going to be a deal breaker pertaining to his son, that would have come up in the first couple of dates. So he would know, like, this isn't going to work. This just seemed like a missed opportunity by them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they both failed in talking about the important things in their relationship. But I do think that, not hypothetically, what my gripe is I don't know if there was a solution, but even if there was going to be a solution, Tatiana was not opening room for there to be a conversation and be like,
Yes.
oh, we
Yeah.
could get her Airbnb. She's just like, well, I already knew this. You weren't going to do this. And I get it. She's on defense mode and she's trying to protect herself and be like, I knew this was going to happen. And then it just raises up. It's like being a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're saying this is going to happen,
Exactly.
and then you're just creating the scenarios because from what, again, coming out of his mouth, do not know his heart. He's like, it is not a problem, but it's the fact that you're not wanting us to talk about it. You're just like, nope, it's not going to be this
Yep.
way. Because if he's as rich as they're saying, he could rent a place. They
Yeah.
could decide, and it's not ideal. But if they decide, like, okay, we're going to live in separate places just to make this work, it's temporary, then we move school zones and then we move. So it's just the fact for me that there's never a conversation. She's just like, well, you don't want to do this with me, then we're done. That
Yeah.
is the
No,
part that I didn't understand.
she manifests failure like Darcy and Stacy. Like, it's just, I'm going to make a problem. And then when you get upset, there's a problem. Now the problem is the big issue and you're the fault. It's just like, these are real issues that need to be overcome if
Yeah.
they can be overcome. And if they can't, they can't. If I was suddenly single and I had a woman who was like, hey, I want to be with you, but you have to leave the Des Moines metro. I'm like, well, I can't. My kid is here. Like, I'm not, that's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
If you have those, you have those. And that's not a personal failing or, a fault of your character, but you got to communicate that so that your
So-
partner knows, so that they know, okay, I can deal with this deal breaker or I can't.
Yeah, and I think they do take accountability because she says she didn't feel understood. I do, and I think her expectations were so high, but she didn't give room for grace or growth and anything like that. She
Right.
feels like her mistake was that she was looking for fun and chemistry and not insisting on help. But I don't know. My memory remembers her actually thinking she did. Like, she made it very clear. She led with her son. Even though
Yes.
she led in some way, like, oh, it's going to be a problem, like, she still led with, like, I'm gonna have to do this. Even when they came back, she's like, I'm gonna have to pick him up, I have to go to soccer, I have to work on Saturday, so I'm gonna need you to stand in. So to me, I think that was mentioned, but I don't know what
I
kind of
think
help.
I think it was mentioned in the pods. I don't know if she mentioned it like once they were actually in person, because I can think about, like, early on in our marriage, my wife was also like, I shouldn't need to ask you to do these things. You should just notice they haven't been done and, like, jump in and do them. And I'm like, yeah, with some stuff, I'll do that if I notice it's not there. But if it's bothering you that it's not happening, you might just want to check with me and see if I've noticed, So it seems like she wanted him she said, I'm going to need help with all these things to pick him up and do soccer and all that. It sounds like she expected him to go, hey, why don't I take this off of your plate? I'll get him from school. I'll take him to soccer. And he may not have volunteered to do that because she didn't make it clear that she wanted him to volunteer to do that. And it's like, well, you can't get mad that I can't read your mind and understand what you want me to do without you letting me know it's a problem. If you let me know it's a problem and then I'm like, tough break, you're on your own, well, that's a different thing. But, like, I don't know. I only know what I know. And so I wish we would have had more insight into what she meant when she was saying, like, I wasn't getting help, but I also wasn't asking for help.
But
It was unclear.
I think it's exactly what you just said. I think the difference is with you and your wife, like I said, you have years of dating behind you.
Right.
And that's why I said she's not giving room for grace or growth. You're dating someone
Mm-hmm.
who does not have kids. It's even different if he had kids and he understands the nuances. He doesn't even know your schedule. You haven't had your relationship. You went to Morocco, a getaway somewhere, and you were
Yep.
living the good life, and you didn't have the routines, the schedules, and all that stuff that he doesn't know. So I understand we as women usually want you to be like, you should know, like just common sense. Like if I have a child, I've told you I had a child, you should be like, how can I help you in that? But
Yeah.
his brain hasn't attuned to that. And I think that's what she kept saying, like, you don't understand, which she's probably right. He doesn't
Yeah.
understand. So it's up to you. Do you want to help with that? But even on him, maybe it should have occurred to him, like, hey, where do you need me to help? That's a failing on his part too. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying you're going to get it perfect, but it is common sense. Like you've talked about how hard it is to be a single mom. So as I integrate into your life, where can I offer help? For
Mm-hmm.
you to do that, especially when you said me being with you as a single mom is not a problem. You have to know that it comes with responsibility. And that's where I will give Sparkle Megan some kudos because
Mm-hmm.
she never forgets that Jordan has a son and where is he going to integrate in our life? Is he going to stay with us? Is he going to do that? Like those
Yeah.
conversations were had. So after she says like, she was looking for fun and chemistry, Yannick says they didn't have time in the pods to ask about how will they live. And I'm like, you have nothing else to do but talk in the pods.
That's
What you need.
all you had time for. That's all
What
you had
you
time
need.
for.
But again, remember, like we said that their relationship came from nowhere. Yannick
Yeah.
was bonding with that other chick who they never even mentioned. They flashed
Nope.
her for like 5 seconds, and I was like, "Oh yeah, her." And
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden, it was Tatiana, and we're like, "Wait, what?" And even that girl went
Yeah.
to confront Tatiana and be like, "Were you playing a game? How did you just come up?" So maybe they really didn't have time. I don't know,
I don't
but
know.
even if
Make
it was
time.
2 days, you have time. That's an important thing. Like, hey,
Yep.
you have a son. What is the schedule like? What are we gonna do? So
Yeah.
he says that in Paris it was back to reality, and at this age you come with emotional baggage. I don't think he meant her child. I just think
No.
that goes for every one of us. Like
Yeah.
when you
He's
get to a
like, you've
certain
been dating
age,
for 20
you
years. You got 20 years of baggage.
yes, and life has
Yeah.
happened to you, so you have a whole bunch of stuff happening to you. So he turns to her and says, "I'll speak to you directly. The 3 weeks we lived together, I did my best to listen to your every need. Everyone is giving looks. Cynthia specifically. Tatiana's like, yeah, you say that, but action speaks louder than words. Once again, he let her talk the whole time, didn't say
He did.
anything, but she would not let him talk because she keeps interjecting. She
Yeah.
actually says it. She's like, I'm not going to let you finish because what I
Mm-hmm.
needed from you was action and you did not give me that.
You're giving me theories.
Luther comes in and Luther is like, okay, what I'm hearing is like, you never understood each other. And he's like, yeah, we have the problem of we don't agree on something. And instead of it to be like, okay, where do we go from here? Like she's just like, well, that's it. And that sums up the challenges that they've had. Tatiana is like, I'm intense. And if I disagree, I'm going to voice it. And if that frustrates you, that's on you to figure out. I'm like, what?
I mean, yeah, I guess there are guys who can handle that. Like, I don't think I'd be one of them, but I'm sure there's some guy out there who's like, say whatever you want to say to me in those other pants, it's fine. Like, to me, I'd be like, no, 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 no. You don't just get to like dictate things and then I just do what you say. I don't care what your pants are like. We're not doing that. So I feel like she had an unrealistic expectation
Yeah.
of what a relationship was going to be.
Yeah.
And rather than communicate her expectations, just got mad at him that he wasn't living up to them.
Yes. Yes.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Like it was going to be inevitably, like with any relationship, growing pains. But with them, it was like extra growing pains because there's a third person they have to factor into their lives and they haven't figured out themselves. And that's why I always say, I'm not against people with children coming on here. It's just like I'm feeling for the child, especially if they actually met. Now you've
Mm-hmm.
put them in a situation that they didn't ask for, and it's just harder to integrate because you can't vouch for this person. You don't know
Exactly.
anything about this person. At least if you dated them, there were some signs or there's some things that you observe, but you never know, and it's a gamble. But you're not just gambling with yourself; you're gambling with a little child.
Mm-hmm.
In this scenario. He does say that her intensity has never been the problem and tries to explain how, for example, they fought every day. That sounds exhausting.
It
Every
sounds,
single
yes.
day.
Been
And
there. It's exhausting.
one day he was like, I'm going to go to my place just so we have some space and just so we can get some air and like, because this is too much. She interrupts him again. He's like, please let me finish. He says like, I did ask you, is it okay if I go to my place? And she's like, no, we're about to get married. Anything you were going to do, you staying home. You can stay out till 5 a.m., but at the very end of the day, you come home to sleep. And that's when he realized that they don't understand each other
Yep.
because he's expressing a need so clearly. And I'm like, well, I don't know. She's kind of right. Like,
I would have said the same
regardless,
thing. No, you can't go sleep somewhere else. Like, do
yeah,
not do that. And I also wouldn't have said go out till 5 a.m. I'd be like, no, you should be home at like a reasonable hour and get in bed and go to sleep. Like, again, it's different. I know, but imagine me fixing my lips to tell my wife, "Hey, I'm kind of stressed out. I'm gonna go sleep somewhere else tonight."
yeah.
Like, okay, stay there then. Stay gone. Like, there is no, I'm gonna go sleep somewhere else and come back tomorrow. Like, no, we're married. You have to be where I'm at
But
nighttime. Yeah,
can I devil advocate you that they're not married yet? I think in
I
maps they
know.
are married.
But
And
even when I was
again,
living with my wife, I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm gonna go peace out. I had my apartment for a while. I wasn't
yeah,
like, hey, I'm just gonna go sleep in my apartment. It was like, that's where all of my stuff that doesn't fit in your house is at.
yeah,
Like,
and it
that's
goes
all it
back
is.
to what my friend said. She says the reason why they do all these things is like one, the people on maps do not see it as a valid marriage,
Right.
and it looks like for love is blind. And they don't take their engagement seriously. They still see them as
Mm-mm.
you're this person I met that I happen to propose to.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's
If
why,
everything goes perfectly, then it goes perfectly. But if not, like, I'm still a single person.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he says that he was expressing a need clearly, that he still went ahead and went home. But get this, the next day, she's already interrupting, but he manages to finish that. She came to him and was like, you know what? It was good that you went to your home because it did us some good. So that's, and I think what he was trying to express is just like her inflexibility, like
Yeah.
just giving room to, like, yes, you've created a story, but what happens if you go plan B? It might still work out, but give it a chance. But just because it didn't go that way, doesn't mean like that's the only way, that's the right way, and then that's it. But see how
Right.
it did you good, and you don't want to acknowledge that, but you want to fight the fact that I actually left, which I don't know who's right or wrong. I At this point, I was just like, they're
They're
not
just
together,
really
it's fine.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go to her mom, and the mom says like she was happy when her daughter said she found love, but when they got back, it was just so many things that she says that, he says he accepted all her baggage. Her son was part of the baggage. And that's when I mentioned that Yannick corrected her and said like he's not baggage. And I think that's something she shares with her mom. They don't listen. I just
No.
they don't let
No.
you talk, they don't listen, they don't do anything. They ask him about meeting her mom. He says he was not prepared for it, and, she reminded him of his mom, so it was fine. I told y'all, she's a typical African mama, African thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's lying because when he spoke to her at that thing, he told her, like, I have never let anyone, not even my own mom, speak to me
Yeah.
the way that you just did. So for you to say, oh, I don't mind, made me question him to think that he's lying, which now makes me question everything else that he's saying when he's like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
don't mind that you have a kid. I don't mind that you're intense. Are you just saying things eloquently and calmly, but
Could
you don't
be.
really mean them?
Well, and given the fact this man was drenched in sweat, I wonder if that was also part of this, because I'm a
Yes, he was.
sweater. Hot lights are hot lights. That could be a problem, but this man was dripping. So, like, could just be he was stressed out. Could be he was hot. I don't know what material that blazer was made out of, but it didn't seem like it was the most breathable fabric. So maybe he was just hot, but he was. I felt for him in that moment.
They pivot weirdly into dating, and she's like, she's not dating until someone understands her. And I'm like, Tatiana, I hope you give them a chance to understand you and for you to
Right.
understand them because it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
He says that the thing that he learned is like he didn't realize how easy it was to fall in love. And for him now, like love is also thinking about the other person. And then they bring Gallienne up and people are cheering. The French are
This was
different.
so stupid.
The French are different.
I just, first of all, I didn't need him to come up. Like, you did what you did. It's fine. Peace out. I didn't need an explanation from him. I didn't. I didn't need for him to be like, oh, hey man, shit happens. I guess I was just horny. Like, I didn't need
Yeah.
any of that. Like, no, 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 no. If you're gonna bring him up, shame him, but don't like make this like a silly. Isn't that funny? Like,
Nope.
dude, no.
It was
And for him to
very
be like, oh, I
casual.
already knew I was leaving, so I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna fuck it up. Then leave. You already knew you were leaving, so you're still going on dates with women, leading them on. Like, what are you doing?
It's almost like they were endorsing it because they came
Yeah,
in and they were like, let's remind people you broke the rules. What happened?
right.
What? And he
No, I
was
was
like,
out for
oh,
dinner and
yeah, he said he knew he was already going to leave. They was having moments that he needed more time. He's not that kind of person. And then when that happened, he slacked off. They're like, what does that mean? And everyone's like, ha 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 ha, ha, so funny. I'm like, what is funny here? And he's like, they were all at dinner with the guys, and there was someone who cut their eye, and he let them engage with them. And all I'm asking is, where are your handlers? Where are the
right,
producers? Where are the people who are trying to prevent leaks and stuff? How did this happen? This is why I'm confused that they highlighted this, because this is showing a gap.
hmm
You're showing the ineptitude of your producers, handlers, whoever, that they had the opportunity for him to meet a girl and they were able to get to a point where they could hook up. Who
yeah,
else did you miss? This is who you
right.
caught.
No, you sequester these people in their hotel and pay for their room service and shit for the 2 weeks that they're there. You can't just let them like, hey, all the guys go out to whatever restaurant you want, talk to people, get drunk, have sex with women. Like, no, you have to. If you're gonna do this for real, be serious. It takes 2 weeks. No one's
Yeah.
asking you to be locked down for 4 months. If you can do jury duty, you can do this for a couple of weeks.
I don't know. Anyways, I mean, the people had a good time with Gallienne, not I.
Seems like he had a fantastic time.
He did. I mean, they bring Sarah up and they ask her
Ay,
how she's been. She's like, you know what? I've been good. They play a montage of all her mean girl moments. Julie has daggers coming out her
yep.
eyes. They ask her if she has regrets. She says, yeah, I have regrets, but it wasn't mean. And they were like, well, you were a little harsh. And she's like, I apologize for the rooftop. That was when they attacked Charles. And she doesn't always choose her words well. And she apologized to Charles and I was like, I mean, he's cute. And she says, on top of that, I mean, he's a blonde hair and blue eyed. And I'm like, once again, we're bringing this up again as the ideal,
Yep.
you know, part. So Sabrina says that they could have been, because they also get Sabrina on that, and Sabrina says that they could have been delicate, but they never questioned him. And choosing Julie, that wasn't about that. It was a bunch of backtracking. That's all I can say
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I was
yeah.
hungry.
Nonsense.
No one asked Julie how she felt.
Nope.
We
No one
just
gave a shit.
let
Again,
all of them talk about
obvious. The
her.
obvious thing you do in a reunion is say, "Hey, Julie, how did you feel watching that for the first time?"
Yeah. So
None of that.
very strange. Very, very strange. Okay, so we move to Cynthia and Jonathan. I'm sure it's not intentional, but this was the translation that I got on my closed caption. Luther introduces them by saying, like, your love story was as intense as it was short.
Mhm. Oh, it was pretty petite, yeah.
And she would like to know what happened after the engagement party. Cynthia admits that she was clearly on a mission to win him back and they were
No
messaging
shit.
each other. And I mean, what are you gonna say?
Ah,
Tits out, body yachting, putting
would
hands
work for
on
me.
everything. You were ready. And she said it got to the point where she felt like she was forcing love. They had a fight, and then that was it. And he's like, honestly, I agree. She's right.
Yeah.
And he said like so much stuff had happened that the cut was too deep for them to move past things. Cynthia says that the moment they met, she just felt like something was off, and also she didn't recognize herself either. He
Yeah.
tries to emphasize that it was not totally about the height, that there were other things. And she said the only reason she's angry is that he didn't leave when he had the realization that they were not compatible because they
hmm
tore themselves apart. Like, if you knew this from jump, why didn't you just leave? I was like, I don't know. You also felt, you said the moment you met, things were off. So I don't know, maybe
You
both of
also
you
could have
should.
left.
So then we find out that Jonathan is in a relationship with Alice. Do we know Alice?
I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
They had apparently a pretty intense back and forth for multiple dates. We didn't see a lick of that.
Yeah, they friend zoned each other and they didn't think anything about it. And she doesn't know how to flirt, so she didn't think that she was
Sure
making
doesn't.
progress. But they had a good time. But once again, no one asked Cynthia.
Nope.
Were you friends? Did she come to you? Did she say anything? They just pivot to Chloe and Alexandra, and I'm like,
Yep.
you guys, at this point I'm ready to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think that was when I'm like, okay, how much longer? 20 minutes? Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah. Yep. All right, so we move to Chloe and Alexandra. They do their montage. They don't even ask if they're together as their first
Mm-mm.
question. They're like, can you share your good times with us? And then they start talking, and then they say, what is their status? I just assumed they were together. because they
I
were
thought so
sitting together
too.
and all that. And I was like, what is that? She's
They're
like,
touching a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, she's like, unfortunately, we're still married. I'm like, huh? But we're
Yeah.
separated. I'm
We're
like,
separated.
oh.
Yeah.
And she was like, as we saw, he was hesitant and like, I loved him. And, to love, like, you have to have the tools to work through. And it's so funny because the episode we didn't cover, this man did everything he could to chase her away, including living in the mountains. She's like, I'll
Sure
live in the
did.
mountains. What else do
Yep.
you need? It's like coming to America. Bark like a dog.
Yep.
I'll do it. And he's like, I can't get rid of her.
No, this was Pepe Le Pew and that poor cat kept on sexually assaulting. She's trying to get away, man. It's like he's like, okay, boy, what if I say, I might want to go be a monk in a monastery? I love monasteries. She was just on board for whatever.
She was. So, he said he expected to develop more feelings for her, but he didn't. And the host got it right this time. They're like, so why did you say yes? And he's like,
Right.
I just saw her at the altar 1,000 times more beautiful than she usually is. And I really just wanted to give them a chance. And it's a rock and a hard place because honestly,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we say, just see how it goes
Yeah.
and see if it works
Try it
out.
out.
And he did, and I guess it just didn't work out. So Kim is tearing up and she's touched. And Teddy's like, well, are you guys still seeing each other? I'm like, you guys, read the room.
What do you think?
And
What do you think?
they're like, no, but they keep in touch every now and then. And they're like, Chloe, do you have feelings for him? And she's like, yeah, it just doesn't disappear that it was there. And he thanks her for giving him the time of the day and for being a listening ear. So there you go. Somebody else doing emotional labor for
Yep. Got you ready for the next woman.
Yeah, and I mean I see why they left them for last because honestly there was nothing. And who knows, maybe they didn't even do them last. They just showed them last in the episode.
Yeah.
But
Could be.
Sabrina and Van Mee, they just go straight to their montage. And Luthna was like, you just told her I love you. Why did you say no? He says, I went through different emotions and I saw her at the restaurant and it was just an intense feeling. And basically he was saying he just fell out his mouth. He just said,
Yeah.
I love you. But then at the wedding, it was like someone threw a cold water at him and he woke up.
Oh.
His rational
You never want to hear
side had
that.
doubts. I was like, ouch.
Yeah. You never want to hear those words come out somebody's mouth.
Sabrina says, it affected me, but I respected his decision. And honestly, I think he made the best decision for us. They had their differences, and she felt like she usually had to go after him, and she was leading the relationship. And he admits to not having the right reflexes. He did not express himself well. He wasn't doing the right things at the right time. So Teddy says, you said like you wanted to continue, like maybe not yes to the wedding, but you still wanted to continue to date. And he's like, we called each other a few times, but things just fizzled. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think what makes it weird for me is I don't know if they had sex. And I always remember when Sabrina threw at him during a fight and was like, no, you just wanted to fuck. And I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
What?
That's right.
So I don't know if she was right and he just found her attractive, but he knew deep down that he wasn't going to get married. I think I was annoyed that he came on the show at all because from the very beginning, he was like, I'm too shy. I'm very conscious of what, my family is going to say. My culture doesn't allow for this. I don't want to embarrass. He was too in his head. So I don't know why they cast him at all because it just felt like he was going to say no, regardless of who it was.
Yeah,
so
it did it. Which I mean, why'd you come on the show? Why'd you propose? Like all these things are weird questions.
Not even to propose. It's like, why did you say I love you? That part really shook me because I was not. And then she's like, I love you too. I'm like, you guys, stop it.
No, this is not healthy.
So Sabrina says that she's seen someone. He's not, but he's happy that she's seeing someone. They ask them all, is love blind? They all give their answers. Thank you for sharing your time and being brave to share with us. And the end.
Thank God this is over.
It's so sad because France ranked really high for me, but then this reunion just kind of took it down notches. And I'm
exactly.
like,
I was enjoying everything up until like the last batch of episodes with the weddings and the bachelor parties. I'm like, well, nothing's really happening here anymore. And then I'm just like, okay, these weddings, whatever, the reunion, whatever. Like it started off strong and then it fell apart. I'd rather it go the other way where I'm like bored in the pods and then we get wild shit that happens up until the wedding.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that we're also dealing with the craziness of Love is Blind USA. at the same
Exactly.
time.
We got
So
villains galore. We got weird people on there. We got a blind lady. Like, they gave us all kinds of fun stuff.
yeah. So well, that was it. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No, I guess if you're in Netflix, watch that Ed Gein show. It's spooky season, and that is a spooky ass show. So do
You
that.
know, the only reason I am going to check it out is like they have been trying so hard to make Charlie Hunnam a thing. And this man, aside from Sons of Anarchy, has not been able to just hit the sweet spot of being a successful actor. He was supposed to do 50 Shades of Grey and he turned it
I
down.
know. Turned it
And
down.
who knows what that would have propelled his career to. So this might be the thing. It's Ryan Murphy, but Ryan Murphy's overrated. Yes, I said
He
it.
is.
Ryan
He is.
Murphy is going on past glory. Ryan Murphy is now phoning it in. He just throws a bunch of stuff together and was like, it should stick. My name is Ryan Murphy. It's fine.
Yep. There hasn't been
So
a good American Horror Story season in many years.
in a while, yeah.
You know, I think I don't know how involved he was in this, because like I saw he wasn't the writer, the director, or the producer when they showed the credits at the end. So I'm like, I know he's involved, but he is not.
It's just his
It's
name.
not. Yeah, but I think Charlie Hunnam. I don't know if he's gonna win any kind of an Emmy for this or not. He's acting his ass off. Like, he's doing a voice. He's got a droopy eyelid. Like, his physicality is different. Like,
Yeah.
he has fully vanished into this role. He is acting his ass off. It's very good.
I think he'll probably get a nomination if his people push hard enough, because let's be honest, guys, nominations are not about, oh, you did the best work. It's your
No.
people in the vehicle that you have behind you. So
Yeah.
if it's not too far out when nominations, at least, okay, it's not too far out because at the very least, Golden Globes. The Golden Globes like
Yeah.
to shake things up a little bit and give
Yeah.
it to random people.
They
He'll
think
get
they're
that
fun.
because that's in January. So nominations are right around the corner. So he'll
Yeah.
be all right
No,
with
check it
that.
out. His voice is disturbing as hell on that show.
I
Like,
mean,
it is high pitched and weird.
I hope he gets it. His female
Yeah.
equivalent is Ana de Armas. Like, they
Sure.
tried so
Yeah.
hard. Like, even with the Marilyn Monroe, she got the nominations and then went right back to obscurity. So
Yep.
get it,
I
Charlie.
hope he gets one, because
Yeah, I
he's
think so.
you know, if you're okay with like a ton of really gross gore, because this show is gory as hell, so like
I
be
am
prepared for
not.
that.
I
Well,
am
don't
not.
watch it then, because there's
I'll just do what I do. I close my eyes. I hear
See,
there's a
every-
cameo from, what's the show that got canceled that was about serial killers? The one with
I don't
Jonathan
know.
Groff. Oh man.
There's a serial killer show with Jonathan Groff?
It's canceled now. It was on Netflix for a while. Mindhunter.
Oh, Mindhunter. Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
hear that there is a little cameo crossover, and I hear that they're bringing that back too. That was pretty good. It was just 2 seasons.
It was good.
But,
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
don't know how we got here, but Brian, share with
It's my fault.
people where they can find you.
Yeah, so I host Maps Version. Me and my friend Kim, we are winding down the DC season. Season 10 might be available somewhere, probably not. If you can find it, go ahead and check that out. You can join our Facebook group, Maps Virgin Fan Club. Follow us on Instagram and Threads at Maps Virgin. Yeah, we have the new season coming up soon, so we'll be all over that when it drops. We decided we're doing one episode for each episode on TV, so I'm going to be exhausted for a month, but lots of content for you guys there.
Yep, and you know where to find me. Find me on all the socials. Please give me a 5-star rating, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and stay subscribed so you don't miss out on all the new episodes. Until next time, look out for Love is Blind. We'll be back again this week later on for that. Bye, guys.